Welcome back to the archive. Just trying to think for the intros. Fucking procrastinating again. Right, little run through of the Puma section. Welcome back. All of these, I don't want to say OG, but they're old Puma. 3 pairs of Maestros, cheeky Adidas pair there. Racecat High, Undefeated Satoris. These are the one that people will be quite keen to see. As you can see, made in Vietnam, a few made in China. The old ones, I don't even know where the old ones, yeah, made in China too. I'll save those, $79.99. That was expensive then. I think these were 2005, 2006, the Satori. I may as well get it out whilst I'm here. In fact, no, so you might not watch the other pairs after. We'll leave it till last. Let's whip out a few Maestros. So these have just come back as of last year. A guy that I know on Instagram, Inside Tag, he has just done a collaboration with these. Great guy, sold a few pairs to him and stuff. Check his page out, he's got all sorts of stuff like this. Everything that I've got up here is very much his thing as well. But yeah, OG Maestros in like a ripstop on the top. You wouldn't have been early 2000s, these will. Probably come out before you, baby. Got a bit of a clear red heel tab, and then they were so mad back then. I had them in white leather with black, like black branding on it. I don't even, stripe, we'll call that the Puma stripe. But they had these crazy wraparound, crossed elastic coming from the bottom. There weren't anything like this at that time, put it that way. So when Puma came out with these, they did actually do really well. Everyone will remember the Maestro back then. If you're 25 and above, touching 30, you'll remember that Maestro. Brand new. Oh no, maybe worn once. I can't really tell. Yeah, it looks like they've been worn once. Classic favourite of my dad's. Little silica gel in the box. Helps them stop cracking out, keeps that rubber nice and fresh and flexy, like you can see, not a crack on that. Some people are like, oh, you're crazy doing that, but it's got you're crazy doing that, just chucking OG Maestros about, bending them. But if it's got one of them in it, I can be pretty comfortable that they're going to be safe. May as well run all 3 of the Maestros. Retail of the Maestro then, $64.99. These are a perforated pair. These are quite similar to what I had. I think all of these have been worn as well. We did enjoy his Maestros and his baggy Maharishis back then. It was a proper look. Nice leather on them. They had this like little carbon plate. I don't think it will be carbon. I don't know actually. Could be a carbon plate. Back then, who knows? They wouldn't use proper carbon now, but it could well be. It feels tough enough, like. I don't know if that plate, yeah, it might be, because the plate actually runs all the way through the bottom, so it's probably there for support. So with it being there for support, it probably is proper carbon, but don't quote me on that. Someone will probably laugh at me and that's not proper carbon. Again, got a flex to them. They have been worn, but they've kept nice. And then just blast out that little last pair. I think these are brown. Oh no, they have got a bit of brown on them. Brown and cream. Spitter a colour that's in today. They've gone a little bit milky. What you find with, well, no silica in there, so that, oh, there is an all, but I'll stop me working as well. What you can find sometimes, yeah, these are brand new, that the rubber can go a little bit milky. It's like some kind of oxidisation. Cream fading to brown on that little plate though up there. That's gorgeous. Yeah, that can go a bit milky. It does wipes off straight away. It's a weird like little film that just builds up on top of them. It always reminds me, the Air Max 90 had a vintage like spinning, I think 2012 or 14, and they put this like milkiness on the sole, and everyone complained about it and was like, oh, they look worn. And they'd kind of tried doing this, and they'd actually done it really well. Looking at an actual one that's been done, it was very similar to that. Obviously you couldn't rub that one off, it was permanently on there because it will have been paint, but yeah, they just go a little bit milky. Doesn't affect the flexibility of them at all. I think it's just something over time, 20 plus years, so it's a fair old time, and that's gone a little bit milky too and a touch sticky. not horrendous, but it's leaving my fingerprint on there, so don't want to bend that too much because it'll probably crack, so I best stop bending that, not letting my intrusive thought win and bend it until it cracks like I'd normally do. Right, let's get on to big guns now. Significant, we could say. I'll do these first because I told the story about when my mum and dad went on TV. So we've got, this is another pair of the signed Trevor Nelsons. Why my dad chose this shoe, I can't answer that. Why he bought this shoe, can't answer that either. Because he never wore them to drive in, but as you can see, they have been worn, and I think they had been worn a few times. So I think they were designed for Formula 1, Formula 2, something like that. I know that it's a driving shoe, race cat high, fiery red. Well, they did this shoe, Ferrari have one. Might just be Ferrari had the rights to do something on this shoe. I feel like there was a blue pair as well, but I can't remember who that'd be. I know Ferrari did one because Schumacher always used to wear it. I think it was this shoe, might have been a lower version, could have been slightly higher. But yeah, signed by Trevor Nelson. The little TN on there. Same with that one as well, that one's a little bit smudged out. Maybe the pen bled, who knows. Yeah, they'd been worn. What my dad used to rock them with, like I say, I couldn't tell you. But pretty cool. I bet they're the only pair that's been signed by somebody that isn't a race driver, because it doesn't really make sense. That's why it kind of makes them cool. When I first whipped them out, I was like, oh, no way. Who's TN? And I thought, I'm trying to think of all Formula 1 people. Nah, it was Trevor Nelson. Absolutely nothing up with it being Trevor Nelson, but I thought it'd be a race driver. Formula 1, Formula 2 driver, but no. But they're a really cool shoe, and like I say, a nice thing to have his signature on there as well. I think there's about 4 or 5 pairs with his signature on, something like that. All different shoes as well. I got 2 Superstars, pair of Nikes, 2 Pumas, all sorts of different stuff. Here we go. Oh no. The Holy Grail. Puma Satori, made in Vietnam. 2005-ish, I think they were. Designed on the, I think it was a Japanese samurai army. As you can kind of tell by the layers on it. I'm sure it was a homage to the Japanese samurais. Yeah, I'm confident in it, it was. Super cool shape. Mental, really. Puma was aiming at the Japanese market back then. The Japanese being the bravest and probably the most innovative on anything really, but particularly on shoes. They'd rock these and they'd look sick in them. If we rocked them, probably look like a set of twats, but they rocked them back then and they looked sick. And they also did something else to do. They made like another shoe for the Japanese market specifically for them. Not a worshipping shoe, but something along those lines. It was like a bit of a slip-on. These being a slip-on as well. Softish back, so you could just slip them on, but a beautiful leather. And as of recent, I think they've always been relatively rare, but as of recent, with wacky designs and aimed at a certain market, these have become exceptionally rare now. So I think they trade for around 500 quid and up, and are very, very rare. To have the black with the suede in this condition. He did wear them, but not much. Ha, they have got a sale sticker inside. That's funny. Yeah, super cool. Look at even the sole. How that's been designed, just something else. You just don't get anything like that nowadays. Whether they'd bring them back, I don't know. I don't think they'd do well in today's market. People are picking up on these things, like I say, the archive pages. People like Inside Tag and stuff like that are bringing interest around these shoes. But as for general interest, it wouldn't sell too well. But for a piece of history, yeah, it's cool as, really cool. And to say my dad picked them up for old size sticker. Look at that, well. Sorry, I thought they were bought in the sale, they weren't. It's just there, Satori, black. Didn't have them in smaller sizes, must have been a men's only release, 6 to 11, $79.99 back then as well. Yeah, isn't that mad to think, 80 quid, super wacky, really different shoe, and it now trades at nearly upwards of £500. It's mad when I find pairs like this. I came across them in them just typed them in because I've not actually done any research. There's some pairs that I don't know loads about and some pairs that slip under radar. I have an average knowledge of stuff, but I'm not solid on everything. So these definitely slipped past me. Then when I did a little bit of research, I was like, whoa, no way, as if we've just got a pair of those just chilling, just warm ones in the box. And I think I might have only found 4 or 5 pairs for sale. I don't think I saw the black leather for sale, so these could be one of a handful left. In our market anyway. In the Japanese market, I could be completely wrong with that, but yeah, in the UK market and probably just European market, super rare. And it's funny because my dad just bought them because they were cool. He didn't buy them for any other reason. He would have never have known that they were going to go up to that kind of price. He never knew that with any of these things. Probably the most varied collection that you'll ever see, or one of the most varied collections that you'll see. And I love it now that when I find things and they've become really cool now and like a massive archive thing, because I just think, oh man, everyone will have laughed at him back then rocking them. They will have thought it was weird and whatever else. And nowadays, a certain group of people at least think they're really, really cool and they've become really rare. So it's nice to know that my dad was one of the OGs back then, wearing all this stuff that everyone thinks is cool now, and he was just casually repping them back then. Like I say, with everyone probably taking piss out of him, but all of this stuff up here was just purely bought because he loved them. Whether it be different, whether it was rare, whatever else, nobody would have paid 80 quid for what you class as a leather slipper back then. People would have laughed at you. What you're buying them mad leather Puma slip-ons for, and he paid full price for them, so. They were probably hot back then. I can't really remember them. It's a while ago for me, that's 20 years ago for me, so I can't really remember them that much. I remember the Maestro a lot more, but yeah, he wore them, so it's got to be a time when they were hot, or a time at least when people were wearing them. Just got a little bit of Puma branding on there, very minimal on the branding, just really subtle. Kind of typically Japanese. They're quite minimal on a lot of stuff and a lot, you know, they're quite minimal on a lot of stuff and a lot of branding, so very much suited for them. Even look at that, how the leather must have been either ironed or it has some little brace in there, little metal bar or a little bit of plastic, something like that, to create its shape, which was just like the old, it's like armour in a sense, and the old armoured boots when they used to layer them down. Yeah, could talk about them for a while because they're just so different. You just don't see anything like that anymore. Ooh yeah, we can't do a little Puma section without showing a suede. Mid 2000s, sky blue, ice blue, baby blue, what the Puma call it. They call it river blue. A term that I wouldn't have used like, but look at that. Because a lot of their stuff was, the suede was dyed, the tongue would rub on the inside of the shoe, on the leather. So on fresh pairs, you get a tongue cover. Yeah. Slip it off and have to put that back on there. So it looks like a little Johnny. Bit tonguey shoe. Right, I'll not go back on now, I bet. Just like a Johnny and all. Yeah, I'm going to take a guess, 2006, 2007. I know that, or I guess that strongly, because they came with fat laces and then they came with thins, whereas the new ones, or for a period of time, only came with thins, whereas Pumas always used to come with fats. Suede, so full suede upper from the stripe. The lining is mixed leather and mesh, but these were a firm favourite for me. Professor Green brought these back for me, and my mate Jack was a huge pro green fan, which meant he wore and did a lot of things pro green. So wearing a Puma suede was the #1 thing, so I liked Professor Green back then as well, but Jack was particularly into it. That then got me into it, and yeah, Pro Green used to wear these and definitely boosted the suede for ages. But they're a sick shoe, fat laces, kind of like today. People are kind of wearing them. It's like that campus again with the fat laces, the skater shoes kind of coming back, but these look wicked just with some jeans on. I think anything for me that looks like that is a bit of a skate kind of shoe. Stitch sole and just plain. There's loads of stuff like that, but I think it just works. I think that's why they work for Puma, and it's probably Puma's most popular model. Little gold embossing of the Puma suede on there, and just the Puma logo in there, and then the Puma logo to the rear as well with a bit of gold embossing. We've got a few suedes in classic colourways, purple and red, the cream, these. I think we've got a red, we've got a green, got all sorts. Dad wasn't mad on Puma, but he definitely bought a few pairs over the years. I'm saying that, we're sat on about 10 here and there's about 10 down there, so we were mad enough. These... not great, but they're a collaboration, so... Is it a suede high? It's a Puma mid, so I think it's a suede mid. It isn't great, its shape's not that great either. It's not got anything stuffed in it, but it isn't great. Comes with a few little extras. They're a collaboration with Undefeated. Got some funky shiny lace. I'm pulling a 8 face here. It doesn't look like I like these. I'm like scowling at them like that. Any receipt in there? No. Oh, you get, as I like to say, you get a plethora of laces. Whites, blacks, all with the Undefeated logo on there. So they kind of went for it with these. I'm guessing laces go in the little bag. Yeah, whatever. Undefeated logo at the top with like these little... it's cool actually. I don't know what you'd call that. It's like stuck on there in metal. Bit of a croc kind of stripe. Gold laces. The Undefeated writing on the tongue as well. You'll probably not be able to see it too much. Let me try and show you on this one. Or just get the inner sole out. There we go. Undefeated on the inner sole too. Yeah, it's a bit floppy. Not much to that, bro, is there? Get that, in fact. There's note to that. Yeah, I'm not too keen on them. They're okay, but I personally wouldn't choose them. It looks like they've got a sale sticker on the side, so I showed them because they're part of Puma. They're a collaboration. I love Undefeated. Not slating Undefeated on these, but they've done a lot better stuff than these, put it that way. Can't get the inner sole back. Yeah, I personally wouldn't have chose them, but me and my dad had similar but slightly different tastes. And like I say, if you've seen them, they were a collaboration and they were in the sale. He tried them on and they fit him to some degree. He was buying them. That one doesn't look as bad shaped, but yeah, it's no great. He's never worn them either.